2020, and it's quite late in the evening. Current local time is about 9:15 p.m. I'm going to go for a walk, as always. Just got to keep my voice down a little bit because I've got neighbours. But when we get out into the wilderness, everything will be a bit more hunky-dory. Right, I'm just going to try and, no matter what I do to adjust the gimbal, it always seems to be slightly askew. I don't know why that is. Okay, right, that looks a bit better for me. Right, let's go. So yeah, it is not almost dark, but oh, there goes Darcy, our cat. So yeah, okay, that's really not going to help the neighbour's floodlights come on. But yeah, we're going to go for a little walk. I'm late to start the show today. Basically what happened was, it's been a long day. It was another one that was fraught with stress and a little bit of depression, I'm afraid to say. Hey, Tiggerable has joined us. Fantastic. Thank you for waking me up. I was just actually about to explain what happened. So yeah, I fell asleep, and I got a text from Tiggerable saying, "Are you doing a show today?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be going later, don't worry." And then I sent a follow-up message a little while later saying, "Actually, I'm kind of not feeling like awake today, so I think I'm going to cancel the show." And then I fell asleep, and I suddenly woke up again, and there was a message again from Tiggerable saying, "Come on, just go for a little walk." So a little walk is what we shall do. Hey, we are joined by Lady Niske. I can never pronounce these names, but that's part of the fun of the internet, I think. I apologise for anyone who watches now or in the future, and I completely butcher the pronunciation of your net name, your real life name. But yeah, so I'm thinking we may walk to the 30 mile an hour signs and then turn back. We may make it to the crossroads and back. I'm not sure, but I do have the this light, which I'll switch on and just see how. Okay, so it does kind of illuminate the road. That tones down the light, and that's like a red kind of hazard light. Basically, it's got a massive magnet on the bottom of it, and you can just jab it onto your car or whatever. You keep it in your dashboard. So yeah, it's my mum's. I just grabbed it on the way out. But yeah, not much happened today. I'm afraid to say, although I am hoping that this will wake me up a little bit, because what I was going to do was skip my Kanji lesson tonight. I may still do that. I've got my Anki deck, which is my Anki is the spaced repetition flashcard app that I'm using with my that I use with my remembering the kanji book, and I've got it set that the decks refresh every day at 10 a.m. So if I do sleep on it tonight, that means that I will still have a small window in the morning to do it. And I actually did this the other day. I did the previous night's lesson at about 9 a.m. I finished around 10 to 10, and then 10:05 I was already doing the next day's lesson, which was actually kind of fun. I got to basically learn 20 kanji in one day, and I didn't feel pressured. I actually got into the flow of it, so that was great. Alright, what's going on here? Also, good on you for taking this walk. Well done. Oh, thank you very much, Lady Niska. That's the support from you guys is always the thing that really motivates me to get out. It's not. It should be my fitness. It should be, oh, you're doing this for yourself and all that kind of stuff. But it's actually just getting to hang out with you guys and hearing what you guys have to say and what we talk about on the show. I look forward to that stuff every day. She is waving cheerleading pom-poms. That's amazing. I love that. Thank you. And Tiggerable says she seconds that, so that's great. I've got a posse of cheerleaders. I mean, how could I not enjoy this walk? It is spectacularly dark. Look at the sky though. On the camera it looks kind of, I don't know if it's the brightness on the phone, but it looks kind of almost white grey, like quite fluffy. I think the sky would be brighter were it not for a thick blanket of clouds. I'm unable to access my weather app. Oh my goodness, there's a TOBY chant going on in the chat right now. Fantastic, thanks guys. Today on Twitter, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, I don't know if I've talked about him on the show before, but there's a Japanese YouTuber I watch called that Japanese man Yuta, Yuta. Yuta speaks phenomenal English. He speaks great English. He rocks. He's just a really down-to-earth, really nice guy, very open-minded, charming, and quite witty, and very, very observant of human beings. My goodness, it is almost pitch black. Let's switch that light on. Okay, you can see the road, but you can't see much of what's ahead. I'm just trying to, oh, there we go. Okay, so that does make quite a difference actually. You can kind of see where we're going that way. Okay, so in the real dark conditions you don't see anything, but look at that, there's a little bit of light over there, so let's focus on that. But yeah, that Japanese man Yuta, he goes on the street and shoves a microphone in the face of Japanese people and just asks them questions depending on the subject of the video. In fact, today he uploaded a video, it may have been yesterday, his latest video was what is the Japanese public's opinion on same-sex marriage, because unfortunately Japan, as advanced as they can be, are still one of the countries that does not have legalized same-sex marriage. And astonishingly, or actually not really astonishingly at all, almost every single person he interviews on that video says, I've got no problem with it, like, love is love, you know, which is the right answer. But yeah, he does stuff like that. He also does some interesting things, like there's this JLPT, with a Japanese language proficiency test. I think I've talked about this on the show before. N5 is the kind of entry level. To do that, all you need to do is learn about 800 Japanese vocabulary words, some basic grammar, and about 120 kanji, and you should be able to pass that test. It's kind of considered to be you should be able to speak and interact in Japanese with the ability of, say, a 5-year-old if you pass the JLPT 5. If you pass the JLPT 2, not only is that far more advanced, but it gives you plus 10 points for a visa application. And if you pass the top level, which is JLPT 1, that gives you a massive plus 15 points on your visa application. To give you context, most people make it to JLPT level 3 and then they hit what Japanese learners call the plateau, which is where you basically don't feel, or at least recognize, any forward momentum in your learning the language. Why I'm saying all this is because there were two videos of Yuta's that were interesting to me. One was he practiced some JLPT N1 questions on Japanese adults in the street, and a lot of them were like, wow, this is actually this is our language and it is tricky. But one of my favourite videos he did was he asked Japanese children questions from the JLPT N3 video. There are some adorable kids that he interviews, and as a learner, it's really interesting just to get the insight on what these kinds of questions are. I apologise for being out of breath. But anyways, today on Twitter, Yuta mentioned, he said, "Hey guys, during the pandemic, I've started to diversify the content I'm accessing on the internet, and I've begun to get into Twitch. Does anyone have any recommendations for channels?" He speaks English, of course he speaks Japanese, he also knows Spanish, Portuguese and some other languages. So he said, "I don't mind if it's any of these languages, just tell me who they are and what they're about." So immediately everyone was like, "Oh, there's this guy playing StarCraft, or this guy playing retro Nintendo games." And then I went on there and I said, "I walk around with my cell phone switched on, so you're seeing what my camera is seeing, and I'm just talking to people in the chat room about anything you want." And Yuta liked it, so I was like, "Oh my goodness, I got acknowledgement from one of my favourite Japanese YouTubers." So who knows, maybe he'll pop up in the near future. I did drop a link to the show, so hopefully, it would be awesome if some of his audience saw that link and followed through, and it would be spectacular if he himself tuned in. Right, I'm just gonna stop and catch up with the chat now, because I've been walking up that hill. I do feel like I should go on, even though it's almost pitch black out here. Japanese sounds hard to learn, but mostly because its roots are other than Latin for us Europeans, I suppose. That's absolutely correct. I always said I would never learn Dutch or another language because it was too complicated. But strangely, when I started to learn Japanese, I gained an appreciation for the Latin languages and felt that, oh my goodness, I'm suddenly aware of how language works. And if European languages are essentially just a case of relearning words and the grammar not so much, I feel like I could learn something else. And since I started learning Japanese, Michelle and my friend Jeff as well have both said that my Dutch has actually improved considerably since I left, because I seem to suddenly remember a lot of it. I'm just seeing what I can see. Whoa. Yeah. There you go, bushes. I don't know how effective this is as a light for you guys, but I'm just going to hold it down at my feet so I can see where I'm walking. And also, hopefully, if cars come by, they'll see that there's something with a light on here. But yeah, if you feel up to it, you could continue, but don't feel forced to do today. No, that's true. Decisions. I'm quite tempted to walk just down to the barn, see what that looks like in the dark. But then again, that's off the road and would be dangerous. So if anything were to happen to me, whoop, big hole. If anything were to happen to me, then there'd be less chance of people finding me. There's another big hole. This is the lagoon. But yeah, I think we'll just walk up to the turning for the barn, take 5, and then turn around and come back home again. Proud of you for doing this small walk already. Oh, thank you very much. Cigarette was such a confidence booster. What would I do without her? Whoa, that's got really out of focus there. Let me see if I can shove my hand in and pull it back. There we go. Right. But yeah, I think I need to invest in, well, I always say this, I need to invest in this. I want to get that. But I should definitely get a light source for doing this in the dark. I second that. You went for a walk even though you were tired. No matter how far you walk, you have gained a victory. You guys are just full of love today. Thank you so much, Lady Niska. I really appreciate that. I was originally planning to do the walk that I did yesterday, where we discovered together that extra route to the barn, but do it in reverse. If this was Mario Kart or Ridge Racer, it would basically be the mirror mode of our favourite racetrack. But I think that was a good route. It's I'm not sure how much further it is in distance, but it certainly adds more varied terrain, more challenging terrain, and more distance to the standard walk from Toby's house to the crossroads. So from now on, I think that pit stops at the crossroads will literally just be that. Like I'll go on from there to other places. But yeah, for now, I apologise by the way. I noticed it's quite windy today, so let's pull in here. Have a little look around. So that orange glow there, that's probably Milton Keynes, which is my hometown. You get a lot of light pollution from there. That huge orange glow there, which I can't even see with my naked eye, but it's definitely appearing on screen right now. That has got to be Northampton, where my brother lives. And over here where it's all wilderness, and then that's probably Brackley, which is the nearest township to us. And then over there somewhere we've got Bicester. That light over there is probably that orange bit behind the trees, probably Buckingham. But yeah, the only time I've ever been here when it's been this dark, in fact when it was darker, I was here at 11 o'clock a couple of weeks ago with my mum. We brought the car, and we basically came up here to try and photograph the meteor that was flying by, or the comet. I've already forgotten its name. That's how tired I am though. I'm useless at fact checking, just like yesterday with the Waterworld debacle. I will never live that down. But yeah, let me flip the camera. I don't know if the glow from the chat will, you can just about see me. Whoa, that's too bright. That's a less bright. That's more horrifying light. Yeah. Let's flip that back around. But yeah, I'm glad. I do actually like this kind of stuff coming out in the evening time. It's eerily quiet. You get to see the world in a way that you don't normally see, because no one in their right mind is out in the wilderness like I am right now with a webcam. But yeah, it's just nice. I feel like I've gotten away from it all. Lost focus on my hand. Sky is still visible, but it's getting pretty dark. It is. Right, the autofocus is really messed up. Why won't it focus on my hand? There we go, there's focused on my hand. Could you pull it back and now see the horizon a bit? Nope. Okay, we've lost focus, so time to walk back. Yes, I agree. Tiggerable is saying you better get out of there. And the wind is is definitely getting stronger walking in this direction as well. So gosh, that is so frustrating that the camera won't focus. Okay, there we go. Has that pulled it back? Yay! Everything must be in focus. The rest of the show can be tragic, but I don't want to screw this up. But yeah, obviously with the lack of a long walk and the lack of exploration, I also have a lack of a topic to discuss today. So basically I've just been waffling on. The Baby Metal podcast, they just dropped their latest episode, I think about half an hour before I went live tonight. It's not the one I appear on, that will be episode 41. This is episode 40, and the episode is all about Headbanger. Hey! My friend Paul Scanlon has just joined us in the chat. That's Suzuka Yuimoa. That's excellent timing, because that now means I can talk about Paul, something we haven't talked about on the show yet. So Paul is someone, he's what I would call a famous fan of baby metal. Well, I'm really sorry about the wind, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me very well. But yeah, Paul, I would stalk him like crazy on Twitter. He always seemed to know, he's the kind of kitsune who knows everyone, and everyone knows Paul. And to know Paul is to love Paul. And yeah, we when Baby Metal were in Europe earlier this year, I sent him a message on Twitter, and I was like, hey, I follow you on Twitter, it'd be great to meet you. And he said, yeah man, we'll meet up. We got to I remember getting to the Hammersmith in London, and I could see him, but he of course has the one ticket, so I think they call them chosen one tickets. It's basically above VIP or priority. It basically means that you're guaranteed sort of the barrier at a baby metal show. You are the first people in the building, and he was hanging out with all the other well-established kitsune like Callie Matthews, who is a co-host of the Baby Metal podcast and is also a famous baby metal YouTuber. And Lily was there of Little Kitsune Crafts, who has a little Etsy store. She sells baby metal enamel pins, which I'm proud to announce that I have many of. I love her work. I'm just broke at the moment, so I can't buy any of her new products. But yeah, eventually Paul started moving out of the area and started to mingle with the general admission queue, which I was number 30, I think, in that queue. And I was like, hey, I'm Toby. He's like, oh dude, how's it going? He just threw his arms around me, gave me a hug. And yeah, we grabbed a picture together, and that's one of my favourite pictures. We actually, after I did the Baby Metal podcast on Sunday, we had a 2-hour sort of private chat where we were basically just fawning over each other, and we both agreed like that was one of our favourite pictures for both of us on the tour. So yeah, it was great to finally meet him. And then ever since then, Paul has a Facebook group for the tour, and had the Discord server for the tour, and we've just been chatting away ever since, and he's rapidly become one of my favourite people in the world, one of my best friends. So it's special for me to see him here tonight. I'm really happy that he joined. So thanks Paul, I really appreciate that. I was just saying actually at the beginning of the show, I fell asleep and I wasn't going to go for a walk tonight, but I just decided, because Tiggerable is like, I would say, the number one fan of this show. She sent me a message and was like, hey, are you going for a walk today? And I was like, nah, I'm tired. And I did fall asleep, and then I woke up and there was a message saying not even a short walk, and I was like, okay. So yeah, I came out and I feel all the better for it. So yeah, but it is crazy dark at the moment. I've got this little hand lamp I'm using to sort of film or see where I'm going. At least when we get down here, it's going to be really dark. and unfortunately you can't see anything, so I'll have to film the road, I think. But in about 5 minutes, when I get to the bottom of the hill, then we'll start to see some street lights and things will be a bit brighter. So this won't be a complete disaster, but yeah. Normally I try to bring a topic of discussion every episode, and I've mostly talked about Japanese YouTubers and Paul Scanlon for tonight's show. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad episode. I think I mentioned this on the 2-hour season 2 first episode that I did on when was that, Friday last week. Basically a 20-second clip of my show ended up on a YouTube Twitch streaming fails compilation. I found this out just by going onto YouTube and looking for the Toby Everyday channel, and this video that wasn't mine popped up, and I was like, huh, what's this? And it was about 10 minutes of nonsense on Twitch, and then the last 20 seconds was the lightning tree clip on from one of my earlier episodes, where I say, this is the lightning tree, so called because, and as soon as I start explaining, this huge gust of wind comes and you can't hear anything. Pretty much like what you're hearing now with this wind. Okay, that is concerning. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's like noises of people. That's in the sheep field over there. I don't know if they're in the field or if they're in the farm that's near the field. I'm not sure. Tiggerable fails comp. What? LOL, free publicity. That's exactly what I say. So basically, I left a comment on that video with my signed in as the Toby Everyday channel on YouTube. I said, hey, thanks for including my clip. I'm really glad you checked out the show. It's an honour to be included in the compilation, blah, 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 blah. And like that video's only had 29 views. But, those are 29 people who are now aware of the Toby Everyday project. So Paul is saying, ooh, creepy. It is definitely creepy. It just sounds like people laughing and giggling. I think they're probably saying goodnight or something. Okay, that was a bird, but it was also the sound of my pants being filled with shit. Not literally, but yeah, that was quite troubling. Okay, this glowing thing that's appearing here, this is the 30 mile an hour marker with that public footpath sign that I was unable to follow. Here it is. There you go, you've got something to look at. How terrifying. And then I think it's through here is the... Okay, this is definitely Blair Witch. I'm not going in there. There's way too many... I've seen way too many horror movies to know that you do not go into the woods in the dark. In the country, you can hear shit from miles. The sound carries. Yep. We need to 30 mile per hour emotes as soon as possible. Yeah, well, that's something where apparently, if I can reach these milestones that Twitch sets, I will be able to start doing things like giving you guys custom emotes and stuff. But to do that, I need to get 50 subscribers. I think I reached 20 today, and there's other benchmarks as well. So hopefully I will be able to get to those 50 subscribers probably within the next few months, and then we can really take this up a notch. Tigger was saying that she can make something. Oh, that would be great. Paul's seen this movie too. Great. Paul knows exactly my fear. Okay, here's the nice house with all the lights on the outside. Although it is really dark now, so oh shit, that car just scared the shit out of me. Let's get on the road. I did not see that coming. So yeah, here's the nice house with all the lights. And we're going to cook, because look, this is the problem with walking on the footpath here. It's all cracked and messed up, and I will hurt myself. Never seen it as dark as it is now, but I love the lights. Yeah, I mean, I am walking in almost pitch black. You guys can see the sky, right? Do I have a big visible vest? I don't. That's another thing I need to get. I just have this flashlight which has strong light, medium light, and strobe light. So this is the one that I should put on to let cars know, but I've also just got it on the super bright mode at the moment just so I can see where I'm going. Right, so now we're in the old village. Gosh, it's really dark and creepy. Be safe, be seen. Yes, Paul's absolutely right. See, that's what I love about Paul. He's all about the safety first. Have a good time. Be good. Don't injure yourself. So yeah, but just before Paul came in, I was saying the latest episode of the Baby Metal podcast dropped today, and it's all about the song Headbanger. Head or bang, 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 bang. So it's all about the history of the song, the various versions of it, how hype it is live, especially because of El Moa's 20th birthday. They did the special Moa banger, which is where she sings the middle bit. But that's one of the episodes that I missed one of the live recordings for. So I'm really excited to hear that episode and check it out. And I noticed it was also been uploaded to their YouTube channel just before I came out, and it already had 27 views, and I think it had only been uploaded about 40 minutes. So it seems, I'm not sure how popular the podcast is, but that's good going for the YouTube channel for them. Right, Paul, just to let you know, even though you can't see it right now, this is a really steep hill and I live at the top of it, so I'm always out of breath walking up here. So expect me to be out of breath. But yeah, there's a couple of episodes I missed recently of the Baby Metal podcast, but I've got to catch up because episode 41 will be out soon, and that's the one I appear in. So I've received the title suggestion for the episode. When you're a guest on the Baby Metal podcast, there's a special, like, invite-only channel for the Discord server. So they dropped me in there a few days before the recording just to sort of come up with a strategy, you know, how are we going to break down Toby's story, what kind of questions are we going to ask, are they appropriate for Toby to ask, is he comfortable, blah blah blah, all that good stuff, run through the tech support and all that kind of thing. And after we recorded, I was able to go through the live chat channel on the chat room and just read all these amazing comments from everyone. Paul posted the picture of us two together, which was awesome. And yeah, it seemed like a lot of people were touched by the story. And in that guest channel, after the recording, both Paul and Kevin both said they honestly feel that it's going to be their best episode so far. Like they said they were really, it exceeded their expectations and then some, which meant the world to me. And then this morning Kevin said, hey, this is the title we're kicking around for your episode, what do you think? Now, because it was in the guest chat, I don't want to say what it was called because I would think they want to keep it a surprise. But the title of it is perfect on so many levels. It sums up everything that I talk about. It sums up my relationship with Baby Metal. It sums up my relationship with the One, and the relationship that the One has with each other. It's also what the podcast has for everyone. So I think when people see the title, they'll go, okay, I'm not quite sure what this means. And then when they hear the episode, they'll go, that is the best episode title that could have ever been. It is really strongly windy right now. Here is the church. You can barely see it. I'm not going to bother walking up to the mansion or to the tree. We'll just go in. It's really windy as well, so you guys can't hear anything. Oh gosh, 35, time to go home. Oh, it was only a quick walk. Normally I go for about an hour and 15. So yeah, it was a brief walk, but I'm glad I got out of the house. I've got a lot of gas tonight in my tummy. I tried to eat a pizza for the first time in 10 weeks, I think. I had half a Domino's pizza and I just couldn't eat it. It just doesn't taste as fun as it used to. Oh, there we go, the lamp's on. Yeah, have a quick look in the barn for bats.